Come on in. Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name is Katie O'Neill and I am coming to you live from Frederick, Colorado. Please feel free to reach out. This is a live video, and if you miss me, you can always catch me at 303-562-8659. As I mentioned, today is such an exciting day. I'm coming to you live from Frederick, Colorado in a 2025 Mountain Aire. And this 3825, I have to say, I think is going to be the most versatile, fun to drive, fantastic Newmar offering that you'll find on the market these days. So as usual, Jody, I love to start our videos from the inside out. Please go ahead and take her on back. So one of the reasons I love this RV so much is because of the fact that it is so dexterous. It can get you into so many different places, but it still has an exceedingly high-end finish. So this 3825 was special ordered for our fine furry friends, Layla, Maggie, and Bertoli. Bernoulli, that's a flight term, I believe. But anyhow, the three puppies are going to have a fantastic experience in this really one-of-a-kind Mountain Aire. Now, as usual, we start our videos from the inside out, because if I don't like the inside, it doesn't matter about the outside. And there's a lot to like in here. So first of all, this is a modified shower. So as you can see here, it's an unusual shape. And the reason is in order for us to fit a bath and a half into a 38-foot, 10-inch coach, we have to get kind of creative. But as you can see, there's a ton of room here, even for a big dude, right? One of the things that you'll see happens that makes it so nice is, first of all, the full tile floor has that very classy linear drain. I love this textured tile on the wall. You've got your shampoo, conditioner, and body wash dispensers as well. A beautiful rain shower head. And then, of course, my favorite thing to have, which is that teak bench that just allows you to sit down and wash your feet, shave your legs at the end of the day. Another great saving of space is going to be found here on the back of the door. You'll see we have our towel racks here. And then just to the left of the towel racks, you're going to see up on the wall, we also have a full robe hook. So really easy access to get all of your towels right when you get out of the shower. And one of my favorite features, of course, is in this rear bath, we have the stackable washer and dryer. So after you're out of the shower, you can go ahead and put your towels in the dryer, get them nice and fluffed up and ready for the next guest. On top of that, we have a little extra storage space here. And again, when you're working with 38 feet, it's very important for you to find good room anywhere you can get it. So this solid carpet-lined maple cabinetry is absolutely decadent. It's also very clean and modern looking. As much as we see a lot of really nice traditional coaches on the marketplace, it's very nice to come into something that is so streamlined and clean as this Mountain Aire. And take a look at this beautiful backsplash, this gorgeous glass undermount sink, and then you'll notice our backlighting in the mirror has additional vanity lights up above as well. So there's a whole bunch of light that you can get into this coach, and a ton of storage back here as well. Two 110 outlets, again, carpet lined shelves, solid maple, and as you can see, little things like these chains that keep us from knocking into the cabinet next door just go to show the attention to detail that you find with Newmar. Another great feature of this coach, okay, so theoretically you keep your toothbrush, your floss, all those things in this top drawer. You've got plenty of room up top for your power toothbrush, but down below you can even have a place to keep maybe some bras and some underwear, so that when you get out of the shower, each person can have their own little drawer full of stuff to get ready. And then there's a few extra drawers here as well. And as you can see, these are all dovetailed deep pocket drawers with soft close. But this is just a nice place where you could actually get up and get dressed in the morning without having to disturb the person sleeping in the bedroom. Another fantastic feature of this coach, of course, is going to be this extra hanging space in the rear For those of you who have tall partners, something with a little bit longer hanging space for longer coats and jackets is of course very handy. And then our safe, please keep in mind, is actually mounted into the subframe of this vehicle. And you know, I wanted to make sure we talked about some of the things that really make a Newmar today. You know, a lot of times I do so many of these videos, and of course this is a special order coach, as you know, especially since we dedicated it to the puppies right from the onset. But you know, there's a few features. Let's go ahead and just run down the list of items that make this coach fantastic. First of all, a 105-gallon freshwater tank with an 80-gallon gray water tank, a 60-gallon black water tank. Those things are fantastic, but tie those into the fact that this shower has an aquamizer system, and you'll see this little dial down below. You can actually recycle the water from your freshwater tank back into the freshwater tank, and while it's warming, so that you don't have to worry about it filling that 80 gallons of gray water. Another great feature of this coach, of course, is the fact that it's got heated tile floors. So as you can see, we've got a King Air tile here. This is a special order tile floor, a little different than the standard Mountain Aire tile, but this cover even that I'm standing on is heated. So that's one form of heat. The other form of heat, of course, is going to come in the form of the hydronic heat, which is not only heating your hot water, but is also giving you a tube of liquid. It's going in two different directions. There's two tubes of liquid pushing under the coach out of an 8-gallon reservoir that's getting nice and hot, and it's pushing warm air out of these vents. Do I have vents in here? Here we go. Here's the vent. So out of this vent here, you've got hydronic heat coming here. Again, electric floor, in-floor heating as well. And then on top of the coach, you also have two 15,000 BTU air conditioners as well as heat pumps. So lots of ways to keep this coach warm. On top of, or underneath my feet, is the 525 horsepower, 1,695 foot-pound of torque ISX. So this 11.9 liter ISX is so powerful. This coach boasts not only 1,695 foot-pounds of torque. If you take that against its total inch rating or its total foot rating, 38 feet, 10 inches long, it has more power per inch than any coach available on the market in terms of torque. It also has a 15,000-pound towing capacity. Another great feature of this coach too is that it is a tag axle. So where that gives you a huge benefit is this coach, because it has the front drive axle in between the front driving wheel and the rear tires, that mid axle, that drive axle is stationary, giving you that's where your push comes from, right? This is a diesel pusher. So generators in the front, as you cannot hear it right now, even though it's running, it is a 10 kilowatt generator. That generator in the front running, you can't hear when you're sleeping in your bedroom and you've got your air conditioning on full blast. You also can't hear this engine when you're going down the road because it's parked in the rear. So this tag axle gives us the extra support that the Spartan chassis needs to support that big engine in the back. But because it has a 17-degree wheel pivot available, basically the pin releases off of the rotor and allows the wheel to pivot up to 17 degrees. It has extremely tight turning radius, 246-inch turning radius versus my 246-inch wheelbase versus my 345-inch wheelbase on my Superstar that's 40 feet long. So incredibly tight turning radius. And then on top of it, because it has that extra wheel to the back, it's got coverage or clearance further to the front and the rear of the coach because it's got that extra set of two tires in the rear. So going down divots or over hills, it's going to have the best ground clearance. These are all really important features to mention when you're out there looking for a coach. I just got back from Big Sur, and I'll tell you, there was a really nice campground. It had a few, I think 8 spots that would hold up to 40-foot coaches. The trick is getting down that steep hill and into the park. You could hear a lot of coaches dragging. This coach would not have that problem. The other thing that would be fantastic in this RV is that it could take any of those spots because it's got such a tight turning radius. So dexterity in a 3825 Mountain Aire is fantastic. Now keep in mind there's a 3823 as well if you would like a mid-bath coach. But for those of us that want to have that bath and a half feature, this is a really nice way to go. And again, just a little sacrifice in the size of that shower, but it works really, really well. Now, where you'll find no sacrifices is in the adornment of lighting in this coach. So if you take a look up top here at the ceiling cover, you can see how nicely done this is. It's got the beautiful accent lights just glowing. If you can recall, the 2024 Mountain Aire had a very textured roof line. So this is a very clean line for the Mountain Aire, which started in 2025. As you can also see here, we have backlighting inside of all of the wood trim around the slide covers. We've got these beautiful wall sconces, huge nightstand capacity. And this year you'll find that we have 110 USB and Type-C ports underneath, which is very, very fantastic. And there's a little cutout right here that allows you to run those cords up here so you can keep things on top. Now you'll also note that in this very generous 72 by 80 king bed, you still have these nightstands with a place you could put down a bottle of water, a glass of wine while you're watching a movie. And of course, behind this 72 by 80 RV King, you have this lovely tufted nightstand, or I'm sorry, headboard. So just beautiful dark leather tufting, really, really rich. And then we have, of course, our carpet lined shelving up top with these grommets that come through, as well as our reading lights. And there is 110 access to either side of the bed through those ports. If you'd like to be able to run, for instance, maybe your iPad cords, your laptop cords through those ports so that you could keep your device charging while you're sitting in bed, maybe getting ready for that next hike. Now underneath here, you'll see that we have our 2 extensions and our 2 chairs. That's going to be because this has got the Euro dinette. But I want to point out the storage on either side underneath. Of course, with those outlets being reachable, you could plug in a CPAP machine and keep those underneath. And then below this bed, if you can just show on the floor here, Jody, this is the courtesy lighting. So if you wanted to have just some courtesy lighting in for your fine furry friends, you could have that courtesy lighting on at night, and it really wouldn't disturb you very much in this bedroom. Now, I do have the night shades drawn in this bedroom. So here you can see your night shades. Jody, I'm going to trade places with you. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these shades up, and I just want to show you how easy this is to do. Now, you've got touch panels throughout this coach, so super simple to get to. And as you can see, those come up. And then beyond those, I have our really nice awnings extended outside, and it is a blustery day, and these are still fine in this wind, which means on days that you may not be able to deploy your Girard awnings, you could still have your shades giving you that protection from the sun in this bedroom as well as in the front of the cab, and I'll show those to you as we go through. Now, one thing I did want to point out is below our 43-inch flat screen TV, of course, this coach has Starlink, so if you wanted to have Dish or DirecTV mounted with a Traveler satellite, you could always do that as well. Right now, we are finding a majority of our clients do like to have Starlink instead. And this coach is pre-wired to have a mobile Starlink. So where I was staying this last week, there was a lot of gigantic sequoias and redwoods. And so these trees, of course, had windows of light. And in fact, one of those little mobile Starlink systems is what that park used to give us the very small amount of Wi-Fi that was accessible in Big Sur. But you could have one of those tripod systems put out next to your campsite and have Wi-Fi, have phone coverage, have access to your television. Whereas if it was roof mounted, you may not have access to that same technology. Also, though, in this bedroom, I love the fact that the Mountain Aire, although she is in the luxury line, has opening windows. So, of course, with the egress door in the rear, you don't need to jump out head first in the bathroom. You can just go ahead and take the ladder out. But it is really nice to be able to open that rear window. And then also we have great deep pocket drawers here. Again, all soft close, all dovetailed. And one of the features I think that Newmar does so nicely is they make these accessible even when they're underneath the wardrobe. So very easy to access. There's 5 drawers here. This last little cabinet here is going to be for your HDMI cable, maybe your PlayStation 5, adjustable or removable shelves. If you wanted to maybe keep some mountain boots down there, hiking shoes, anything along, hiking shoes, mountain boots, whatever. You know, it's Monday, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, you get the drift. If you wanted to keep your shoes down there, you could certainly keep a place to keep all your shoes. And then here, as you can see, again, nice tall wardrobes. I do have a lot of people ask if this bed folds. It does not fold, but it does nestle in directly underneath this little wardrobe here. And as you can see, this bedroom would be so much smaller if it wasn't for this full wall slide. So this entire full wall slide is all tile. There is no carpet in this coach. That is, of course, due to Moore floor. Moore floor is what allows us to have an all tile finish in this RV. And then as you can see here, because of the fact that the slide actually rises up and comes in, there's a little bit of clearance here. That is the rationale for that. But we do have these nice solid pocket maple doors that give you that privacy that you're looking for when you're out on the road. And I'm just going to grab my clipboard real quick, Jody, and we'll keep going through. Now, as we enter into this next section of the coach, please note that there is a second half bath here in the center of the coach, really nicely accompanied with, again, that really classy looking lambrequin, the power shades, the inlighted mirror, the amount of medicine cabinet storage here is, again, substantial, making great use of all of this space. And then again, the cabinetry that you have in this coach, just giving you that extra room is fantastic. And if you're a lady trying to get ready in the morning and you wanted to be able to put, for instance, a plug-in mirror that has kind of that halo light and the magnifier, there's a little pop-down outlet that comes down right here underneath. And then when you're done with it, you could go ahead and stow it away, maybe down here underneath, or in this cabinet below here. And then another drawer here where you could keep, of course, all your toothbrushes, your cosmetics, things along those lines. So this would be a great coach for anybody who wants to have the ability to get ready in the morning without bothering whomever it is in the back taking a shower or maybe having a little extra snooze. We love that. Now up here above, of course, we have all of our circuit breakers, and as I mentioned earlier, heated floor heat 1 and 2 breakers here. You also have, there we go, your really well labeled, really nicely identified, you know, washer, you know, inverter. Everything is so well typed in. If you've ever been to a place where they handwrite things, it's really hard to figure out what you're looking at. So Newmar does a really good job at using a label maker to make sure that you know what it is that you're addressing, because if you have something, maybe your rear heat zone's not turning on, maybe your breaker's been tripped and you just need to flip that breaker, you can do that right there in the center, and it's easy to identify. Now you'll notice that this door does pivot. That's to give us access to this center area so that you can access your pantry when the slides are closed. So I'm going to show that to you later on in the video, but I wanted to start off by showing off this pantry. One of the things that we've done in Newmar since I started working with them, we used to have a little lock that you pushed here and people would pull it open and break the lock off all the time. So they started to do these push to release pantry drawers. As you can see, dovetailed once again, super deep. You can really get all the way back to, you know, a jar of peanut butter, maybe your tea, whatever it is that you're keeping in here, so easily. And there is an outlet in this pantry. Now we have some extra outlets. There's 3 extra outlets installed in this coach. So again, this goes into talking about these special orders. You know, when you're using your pantry the way you like it, there we go. Maybe you're keeping a coffee maker in here and you're running your coffee in the morning and then you're closing it up for the day when you're done. You can do that and keep your outlet plugged in the entire time. All of these special order little nuances are available to you when you sit down and take time to order your coach. One of the other features though that we started doing that I think is so fantastic is, as you can see, you could have a quart pot here, a frying pan, a baking sheet, maybe a charcuterie board. These all just slide out and slide in, making as much room as you would need for your pots and pans, so you don't have to use the storage in your kitchen. But in terms of storage in the kitchen, huge full extension drawers. This is a really deep countertop. And so as you can see, they make full use of this countertop the whole way through with adding those drawers. Nice pantry storage here. Again, if you have something and you want to make it a little taller, these are adjustable shelves. Maybe you keep your bourbon here and your tumblers on top. You know, it's hard for me to predict the future, but that sounds like a great idea to me. Now this whirlpool, I have the light on. Do I have the light on underneath? Nope, I turned it off. Let's go ahead and turn the light back on. So you've got a little bit of light here underneath. And one of the things that's interesting about this, oh, I did have it on, there we go, giving you a little extra illumination while you're cooking, which I think is super fancy. But you have this true induction cooktop. And what's so nice about this is if you really are somebody who wants to be able to cook different types of meals, and my boyfriend, for instance, he's very adverse to odd smells in our coach. So if we're going to make fish, for instance, this is going to go outside. French toast we'll probably do outside because we'll be pairing that with sausage or bacon. You can take this outside, and you can note that this is going to be something that's magnetic. So if there's a high gusty wind, outside, you can still, boil a pot of water. You could still make your eggs to 360 degrees because this is going to be an induction cooktop. And also, if you were to boil a pot of water with a paper towel underneath it, it would not catch on fire, which is a huge safety feature for people who have young children that are maybe helping with breakfast in the morning, but also a nice convenience for anybody who is actually cooking outside on a breezy day. So there's cutting boards on the tops of these covers, or you could just have the regular sink cover. Please note, we actually special ordered this particular countertop as well. Everything in this coach, the backsplash, for instance, is out of a Mountain Aire. Is really pre-thought. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to differentiate rooms by not having the same tile. So Jody, if you can just show that back corner here, and then when you look into the rear bathroom, you can see it's a completely different tile set because, as you know, when you're in a high-end luxury home, you don't have the same tile in every bathroom. And through the kitchen, it's always a little bit different, a little more unique. So this attention to detail is giving this a much more homey feel. Another thing that gives this coach a really homey feel is this huge sink that you get in the 3825. Take a look at how luxurious this is. I love the step up. So it's got a little shelf. If you wanted to have just some rinse water, smaller basin, you could just fill that up. We've got a little step up here. Really luxurious spray and pour feature on the faucet. Just absolutely divine. And one of the things that's so nice about this, of course, is that you could just leave one cover out and still have plenty of room to access your kitchen. So if you wanted to maybe have some friends over where you had a little extra space, you could do that. You could even keep drinks in here, maybe keep some ice down below. And then just cover them up and allow people to slide them back and forth to access their beverages. And on this coach, another thing that we were able to provision is a vented microwave. So this microwave actually vents to the outside. For those of you that are cooking while you're camping, you don't always have the opportunity to cook outside. Sometimes it's just not nice out there. If you do get stuck making bacon in this coach, it's not going to blow back into the coach through a filter. It's actually going to blow outside, keeping that smell from being in your kitchen permeating. As you can see here, there's a ton of space underneath the sink here for cleaning supplies. Of course, you get these nice pull-out extensions at the Mountain Aire level. Again, this is your luxury model. This is the only, there's only one of two floor plans that are under 40 feet in the Mountain Aire. You've got a scrubby drawer. I love this little guy. I think, I don't know, you can keep your extra clean sponges maybe in here. A nice storage area down below for maybe charcuterie boards, once again, anything that you're using to prepare for guests. And then if you don't feel like doing dishes afterwards, You can always just put everything into your dishwasher here. And keep in mind, this has also got that really nice feature where it's got the stemware holder so that you can wash your wine glasses and champagne glasses in here as well. And speaking of champagne, I know exactly where to keep that. You would keep it right here in this center shelf. You just push this down. You could keep all of your champagne right here in the center and still have room for all of your condiments, your ketchup, your milk, all of those things on either side. And then there's a nice charcuterie drawer, as well as a vegetable and fruit drawer as well. You'll note that there is a water filter here, and that's going to be for your door water, so you would be able to not have your Brita. And with this filter paired with the whole house water filter that comes on this coach, your water's twice filtered, not only at the door, but also here at the ice maker as well. And as you can see, lots and lots of room here for frozen goods. This coach also does have the 3 cubic liter outdoor refrigerator and freezer in it. So we've really provisioned this with just about everything, including central vac. So as you can see, one of the features I like about this coach is that you can access the central vac kick plate without having to go into a room. My kick plate is in the bathroom, so I have to move my bath mat whenever I want to sweep into that kick plate. The other thing I really like about this coach is the fact that the washer and dryer is accessible without putting the slide in going down the road. So I think that that's a nice feature. Now, as you can see here, I've got our sound bar up above. We've got our beautiful wall lighting. I have, can you see that? Can you see that kitchen cover? You can see that through the day shades. So I've got the day shades drawn, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the TV up. All of these little touch pads make everything so easy. Let's see, it's going to be under systems. TV lift up, and then while I'm messing around here, might as well just drop the shades. So TV comes up, shades go up. There you can see that awning, and I guess you can tell it's pretty blustery outside. This is something you would not be able to do with your Girard awnings. That bounce sensor would have pulled those awnings in long ago. So this is a really nice feature, and as you can see here on this side, it's giving us complete sun protection. And one of the things that's really nice about these, and I'm going to go ahead and pull them right now, is you can change the pitch of them. So if you wanted to still have sun protection, but the sun was a little higher up in the sky, you could change them so you're still getting that sun protection, but you can also see outside of these windows. So this is a really nice feature of these shades, is that they can actually stop and be placed in a specific location, giving you not only sun protection but also visibility outside of the coach. In my Superstar, mine go to one position only. We keep ours down most of the time that we're camping. It really keeps the temperature down. It's a great way to protect from the sun. But that being said, I don't have the opportunity to change the pitch of them. They're only one stationary spot, so this is a nice feature. Oh, speaking of changing the pitch, I better finish pulling that one in. There we go, just a little bit more. This is one of the coaches that you can actually see where they are from the vantage point of the control center. In some of the other RVs, you can't tell whether or not they're out or in, so it's kind of nice that you can see those too. Here's a great place to keep some placemats, maybe your napkins underneath. And as you can see, this booth is generous for 2 people. It is not generous for 4 people. For 4 people, it would probably be a little bit tight, to be honest with you. So I think that the fact that you can actually, have your nice table for 2 when you're dining, just the 2 of you, but also have the ability to have company over, right? Look at how big this table gets. You could even probably have not only your 2 chairs out, but I would say pretty easily, if you had a 5th, hanger-oner that wanted to stay for dinner, you could probably accommodate them as well. So really nice to have that extendable Euro dinette. All of the storage that you get here is perfect. As you can see, this Villa furniture is all leather. That's new starting for 2025. So we really love that feature. I'm just gonna put these up sideways for the time being. But as you can see, really nice ottoman storage oh, and I should show this. If you have a flat top for your charcuterie board or the more cushiony side for your feetsies, if you're watching a nice movie and snuggling with the pooches. And then over here, of course, there's always optional theater seats. Oh, and Jody, if you want to show, there's an outlet here, an extra outlet in the center, and then a third outlet at the end. That's another one of those extra outlet sets, just giving you more power in your kitchen. And then if you did have, again, a hanger-oner, you would have a really nice hide-a-bed here for company. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to show your friends this video. If they haven't seen it, they won't know. But if they have, there's a good chance that they're going to volunteer to go camping with you, because this is a real, true queen-size bed. So I like to show an actual body on these beds, because I think it's important for people to know this is a really nice gel foam mattress. It will inflate as it sits out a little bit longer. This will go flat, but as you can see, a real human being, two of them could be here very comfortable. If you've got littles that are camping, you could probably fit 2 or 3, depending on how tall they were in this direction. And it just makes for a really nice extra sleeping area in what is really one of the smallest coaches in the market, with a tag axle. So just really impressive what Newmar's been able to do. There are 3 seat belts back there. And as you can see, again, just nice full leather furniture, really decadent, very, very soft to the touch, quite different than the 2024 villa that they had with the synthetic leather. Of course, this will be great for the pooches. And I really actually love the decor that comes with this coach. From the pillows to the bed covering, everything on here is just absolutely beautiful. And as you can see, we special ordered this paint, so it all ties in very nicely to the paint as well. So the interior of this coach and the exterior of this coach match. Now, if you're looking for the interior color, this is the Camden. The Camden decor, let's just make sure we cover vented the microwave, King Air floor. We talked about all of the extra outlets. We talked about the special change out of the countertops. In the last Mountain Aire that I did, we actually removed this entire bank of cabinet space and put a TV lift with the sound bar on top of it. Now, it's not an inexpensive modification, but if you don't need this extra space that you have, which is actually quite abundant, you can remove this. You can remove this entire cabinet area, because at the end of the day, all of your telematics are over here. So this is your telematics area. So really, the only thing that's over there that you would need to access is going to be that sound bar. And you, again, you could put that under the top. You could put it on top of the TV. So I love the fact that you have this lovely, classy lambrequin, but also this nice full leather on the sides. Again, this is a coach that's made for camping, right? It's not like we brought this to go, you know, put in a garage and keep on display. It's for getting out there where it's dirty, but this coach is going to be very easy to take into the wild, wild west and to still keep clean and have that luxurious feeling of home when you come in at night. So let's go ahead and bring these slides in. And I just love the way you can really see the differentiation of that kitchen into that bathroom from this vantage point. So smart. Such a nice look. The last Mountain Aire I did, we did with a Dutch Star inset for the tile backsplash. So I've done a few of these where I've changed out the tile as of late. I just delivered a special order King Air. I mean, it's just so much fun. I think all in all, by the end of next month, I should have 6 total special order vehicles delivering, which is so fun to be able to show people what you can have if you have a little bit of patience. Now, this is a pretty good area. As you saw, those are not small pooches who are inheriting this coach. This is a pretty big area for them, though, to be comfortable. And mom and dad still have access to the potty and to the puppy chow, right? So all the important things that you need to get, what was it we decided we put our bourbon in here, tumblers, microwave. Oh, and this has an air fryer in it, just so you know, folks. I love the fact that this new microwave has an air fryer built in for making French fries and tater tots, because we all know that when we go kitchen or shopping, we like to have some of those starches with our meals. Okay, so before we head outside, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the things that make this coach unique. And I think really, really importantly, when I was pulling into the campground, I thought, God, this overhead camera, how decadent to be able to see, you know, how close you are to a picnic table, how close you are to the rear line of the next door, you know, neighbor's campground. Really, really handy. And then when I was driving over here, I could see the reflection of the Newmar sign, or the Newmar, the mud flap in this little camera here, because it's actually, it's this one. It's tagging straight down. So this is the one to line up your tow vehicle. This is kind of a little bit of a different view. And then this one here is the straight back view. And you can see we're shooting our video today from the trailer side of things. But you know, it's really cool to be able to see overhead where you're parking. So we do have some drawer storage down below. Air conditioning and heating is still that kind of standard. They haven't come up to that dual zone yet, but they have integrated into this the keyless start. So you've got keyless go. You also have auto lights now, so automatic headlights, which is huge for me, and as well as auto dimming lights. So you can leave your brights on when you're going through those nice mountain passes. This coach would be fantastic in the mountains. With that tag axle giving it that extra support in the rear, this Spartan chassis would just be a knife through those hills. So as you're coming around those corners, to have your lights dim automatically would be really handy for oncoming traffic. Of course, that's a safety feature for you. One of the other features I think that's really nice about this is that you can use an HDMI port if you are not going to use Sirius. You have Sirius if you like as well. You could run your iPod. Oh, no connection to Bluetooth right now. Well, I don't have my Bluetooth on. But yeah, you could run your phone. You could run off of your media center. You could actually download music onto this coach. And then your Mobileye is going to give you your lane tracking. And, you know, I am going to turn this on real quick, Jody, just real fast. I have the engine off so that when we go outside in the at the end of the video, it won't be too noisy. Oh, I'm being impatient. Let's wait for the Spartan light to come on. Okay, Mobileye is turned off. So Mobileye is going to give you the ability to see, you know, whether or not you're going out of the lines. This is going to be your lane tracking. You can see that right here. Also up here, you would have your adaptive cruise control. In the mirrors here, you can see the little triangle at the top or the bottom of that larger mirror. That little triangle will turn red when there's someone in your blind spot. And when you turn your turn signal on, not only can you see that little indicator, you know, in the back of the coach, you can also see it in the mirror, so anyone next to you knows that you're trying to get over, and it's automatically going to illuminate to the left of you whatever's, you know, to make sure that you know that you're clear. So having this nice monitor setup is great. You'll notice in 2025 they did away with the split. It's just a single monitor all the way across now, where it used to have a little bit of a break. Not a huge deal, but nice nonetheless. Here you can also see we have our wireless charging dock. So this does work. We've got our integrated brake controller. You've got, again, distance-based cruise control. You can hang up and pick up your phone here. You can control your windshield washers. You have all of the control here for your center here. Like you can see, I can turn my comfort drive up and down with just a toggle button here on the back of the steering control. I can go to my home menu and go through my trip computer. If I have any kind of messages here, it would tell me that I have a message. I can also monitor my tire pressure. And then I also have air leveling on the coach. So as we get into these higher level coaches, instead of just having hydraulic leveling jacks, which are over here, those are powered by HWH. It's the same company that powers, or the same control that powers our hydraulic slide. So your HWH hydraulic leveling jacks can be deployed, but if you just want to air level your coach and you're not on a significant pitch, you can do that with your air leveling on the Mountain Aire through King Air as well, which is really nice. This is the 4000 mH Alison transmission. Anytime you get to a higher number in that transmission, like a 3200 or a 3000, when you start to get into this 4000, not only do you have a 15,000 pound towing capacity, but you also have the capacity to really tow through the mountains. You've got a lot better transmission power going up those steep hills. Now you can adjust this into a manual transmission to go up hills, but for downhills, your engine brake has a high, medium, and low setting. And it's important to understand, the larger your displacement, the better your engine brake. So this is going to be substantially stronger than I have on my 8.9 liter ISL. So this ISX is 11.9 liters, 3 liters larger, which is going to give you a much better engine braking system than you would have on a smaller engine. And honestly, I'd say that if you asked, why this model exists, here at Transwest, we would have Ron and John and all the Newmar folks come in and sit around the round table and send us questionnaires and say, what are you looking for? And the number one thing I found is I found people who wanted a coach that was under 40 feet long and they wanted more power. So this Dutch Star segment, the next level up is this Mountain Aire. And so you have a 4118, which is still almost 42 feet. This coach is it's under 39 feet. So again, that short wheelbase with that extra tag axle is gonna give you better in and out into steep pitches, and then also the ability to go up and over is much enhanced by the fact that this coach has a tag axle. And then the power, well, needless to say, the power is the power. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this off just to make sure we're not too noisy. Now you can tell I do have my air conditioner or my generator running. I run my generator because I can't actually operate my awnings without my generator on. I'm gonna go ahead and stop that right now. You'll notice it's not much of a difference in sound. It is a 10 kilowatt generator, so this is a big generator. But as you can see up here with this little blue indicator, that's telling me that I have the lithium ion battery set in this coach, because that's where I would reset it if it needed to be reset. This coach has 960 amp hours of lithium batteries, and it has a second inverter allowing me to run my air conditioning while driving down the road without having my generator running. And I can also run my my air conditioner, my central air conditioner at night, which is hugely beneficial. As you can see up here, we have we showed you some of the awnings earlier. I'll just put down one of these privacy drapes so you can see how low it can go. Oh, I don't have the engine on. So it'll stop about here if you had your engine on. And this is about as low as you can go while driving. But as you can see, these are really nice blackout shades. They have a day shade and a night shade in the front, and then another one over here on the door. So very easy to to close everything up and to allow your center guests to have some shut-eye, being able to sleep in while blacking out the entire front half of this coach. So before we head out, I think we gotta, that's the horn without the, it's really important to remember this feature because you don't really want to scare anybody, or maybe you're honking at someone and you're in the park and it's, a little earlier in the morning. Nice not to like blow them out with that, foghorn effect. Okay, so heated seats. And as you saw earlier, Maggie May is probably going to be here in the front seat. This is her queen's seat, so this is the larger seat. These both turn around. They are full recliners. And then if you do have fine furry friends traveling down the road with you, you'd really want to make sure they don't fall down into the steps, right? That would be hugely inconvenient. Forget the humans, it's about the dogs. We have the oh shit, we lost the Jeep camera over here as well, which is so nice. If for some reason something happens and you're going down the road and you need to see, you know, what that sound was behind you, you can look and see whether or not your Jeep is still attached. Our 43-inch smart TV up front, of course, we talked about this earlier, is going to be powered by Starlink in this coach, but you could choose whichever iteration would work best for you. We get a nice place to keep some probably umbrellas and the like, I would say, right there. Maybe some birding books, your binoculars. And then over here, a little extra storage for the driver. I would imagine you'd keep probably your insurance cards and any of those things that you need up there next to the driver's side. And then on this side, you'll see that we have our awning controls. So you can use your awning control. There's a remote for them. There is the awning control above the driver's side here. So you have the ability to do them here, and then you have this here. So this is where your Gerards are. We do have a standard feature of this automatic razor antenna in this coach as well. And of course, you know, it's nice to have the local news if there is a fire or anything like that, just so you can make sure that you're safe. There's a wireless charging dock over here. Nice cup holder. And then one of my favorite features that they've added this year is an all lights off feature right here at the door. Now, of course, you can use an app control to control all of your lights, but just being able to turn all your lights on and all your lights off with a touch of a button, super handy, especially when you're getting ready to head out for the day. If you'd like to leave your keys behind, we have a really nice touchpad with a doorbell. So as you can see, you could just put your own code in here to lock and unlock your door. Oh, don't forget, place to keep the dog food and the water bowls and the leashes, all of those things that you need when you're stopping on the roadside for everyone to have a nice little walk. So everything is very conveniently located there. And then nice screen door as well with open and close feature. And then here in the front, you can see the back of that 10 kilowatt quiet diesel generator. I forgot to leave it in accessory mode. It's okay, we'll show you guys closing it next time. It is on a hydraulic slide, so that's why I have it popped out. This is a flagpole bracket. Again, those nice concave mirrors have the turn indicators built into them, as well as that side view camera. So that side view camera is coming down this way from up top. And over here, this is your blind spot radar indicator. Another huge feature of this coach is 150-gallon fuel capacity. And as you can see, I have our docking lights on right now, which is just really handy for when you're getting out to get fuel, or if you're parking it late at night, you maybe get to the campsite a little late. Here is this fantastic Dometic. Now keep in mind, if this slide was fully deployed, you would still have access to this refrigerator and freezer. How impressive is that? So much room in here too. So you could keep your drinks in one side, your frozen goods in the other, all drinks, all frozen goods, however you'd like to have it set up for yourself. And then again, just a nice slide, a shelf on top. In 2021, they started doing that only on the King Aire. They've since then carried it throughout most of the line. Very nice to have a place to put some stuff down while you're loading up that freezer though. These suicide doors make all the difference. Of course, you can see these are 1,000-pound rated slide trays. There is that nice Italian porcelain tile replacement set on the floor there, but a new feature you'll find moving forward in 2025 is going to be your ability to access all of your fuses here on the outside in a much more consolidated and clean fashion. And then there's little things that are important to note out here. So you'll know that this is in place when you hear it kind of lock, but see this little drain hose right here? That's because everything on top of this coach, your air conditioning, your Starlink, if you have the roof mounted Starlink, everything is being sheltered by a roof surround that goes the whole way in, creating kind of like a top deck. And when all that water runs down, instead of running down the outside of the coach, creating those hard water lines, you've got those great little drip lines that actually redirect the coach water to come out underneath here as opposed to on the outside. Here's your road vac attachment. This is a place where you could actually use your vacuum cleaner outside. Very handy, especially if you've got a dog that maybe got a little dirty. Maybe you got a paddleboard you need to clean up. Underneath here, of course, we have our nice television. Now this stops here. It's funny because I was talking to my friend Gil when he came in to take delivery of his, and you can open this up and it can go higher and the slide will run into it. So you want to make sure you have it at that nice stopping point. But what's so cool about this is, as you can see, you can change this so that you're not getting that glare. You can actually have the game on outside. And then on the left there, again, there's another one of those little lines that's running for the water to run through. And then also you've got another docking light as well as another blind spot indicator. So there's a total of 6 of these. And I did want to leave this slide out so that you can see here. You know, again, this is a beautiful special order paint job, but as you can see, Newmar is so cool. They actually color match your slide, so even when your slide's deployed, your coach has that same uniform color the whole way through. Now, 150-gallon fuel tank, a 15-gallon def tank, fill on both sides. Again, just a little more convenient. This little spot right here, if you wanted to add a little air to an airbag, for instance, you had one that was so low it couldn't read, you could manually add air to the airbags right there. And then here we have our chassis batteries. And one of the things that Spartan likes to take great pride in is making it easier to have, you know, access to your water separator, your air dryers. I would still recommend coming to a shop like this. So if you look over here in the background, this Transwest building on this side is our chassis side. So this entire side of the building is dedicated to chassis service. Across the street, past those hail tents, is our house side. So this huge complex has not only full house service for your RV needs, for Prevost, for Winnebago, for Renegade, for Newmar, for 27 North. We also have full service for your chassis over here. And on top of that, we have some amazing horse trailers. We carry both full line of Cimarron and Logan. So for anybody who's out there in the market for a full service dealership, just a few miles away, we have what's called Branch 1. It was our first branch. It has a full body shop, a paint division. They make huge, huge vehicles. There's 43 locations in the Transwest umbrella. The majority of them are going to be things like semi-trucks or, you know, things that we manufacture. Now here again is that beautiful marriage of the Cummins to this K3 chassis by Spartan. Again, 525 horsepower, 1,695 foot-pounds of torque, 150-gallon fuel capacity, 15,000-pound towing capacity. Really fantastic. And then right over here is the tank for your hydronic heat that is going to be what's powering the coach. So this is your Oasis fluid tank. It is one of the easiest reservoirs to operate or to access on Newmar line. So I love the fact that it's easy. Sometimes you have to use like a turkey baster to get to it, so it's nice and it's so easily accessible. Your Voyager camera system is pre-wired. Safe haul is going to be if you want to integrate that Air Force One braking system onto your tow vehicle. This coach will actually have an Air Force One system installed here at the dealership. When we do that installation, your day of orientation, you're going to hang out with Marlon for a walkthrough, 2-3 hour walkthrough, getting fully oriented with the coach. While they're doing that, we'll have our professional, usually Jack is one of the technicians that does the majority of them, maybe Cameron, will do our tow package for you. And after you get done with your orientation, we'll actually show you how to connect and disconnect your tow vehicle safely so you know what you're doing when you get out there on the road. So again, full service. And then beyond that, if you take delivery of your coach and you've got a question and you don't know how something works, you've got the ability to call Bill Habercorn. Oh, maybe I did leave it on accessory, Jody. My brake lights are on. That's a good sign. I meant to leave the accessory lights on so I could pull that generator cover back in. Okay, so any coach from Dutch Star on up is going to have a side mounted radiator that is really designed to give you more space in the rear of the coach these days. It's not so much for breathability, but it does give you a lot more space and easier engine access. This is going to be for your DEF, again, that 15-gallon tank. This is if you wanted to have a gravity hose, or as I would highly recommend, some gloves that you keep in there. Your water bay has a Sanacon system, so you don't really need to use that gravity hose. And then as you can see, your fresh water line is on a power reel. Got a nice paper towel dispenser. You've got your hot and cold water shower. This coach also has what's referred to as a gray tank rinse as well as black tank. One of the nicest features about that is if you think about what's the grossest in the coach, it's probably your gray tank with, you know, laundry detergent, food, all the stuff that you're putting in there. To be able to rinse that out is huge. And then I love the fact that your whole house water filter has got a clear container on it now, so you can actually tell whether or not you need to change that filter out, maybe as opposed to doing it annually. You go somewhere where the water's a little grosser, you can tell that it's, you know, you might need to change that out a little sooner. So as you can see here, we have our little access point here to run your Starlink in and out of this bay, so you don't actually have to have it on the roof of the coach. You could run your Starlink here, and there is an outlet in here as well. We've got our surge protector, we've got our power hose reel, our cable access, and then here in this compartment you'll see that Oasis, as I mentioned earlier, this is a dual loop system, so you see loop 1 and loop 2. By giving you a second loop, you're just having less ground to cover when you're going around the coach. So if that hydronic fluid is cooling off because it's really cold, by not having as much space to traverse, it's just going to give you better heat, better control over the temperature in your cabin. And here's the cooktop. This is again, 960 amp hour system, 2 inverters, giving you one dedicated simply to being able to run your air conditioning while you're going down the road. Big deal here. Of course, we also added here at the dealership, we added 3 190 watt panels to this coach. They came out with a new panel for 2026 for Newmar. It went from 110 to 120, still not that much wattage, so we went ahead and just prepped this coach and we installed solar here at the dealership. There's that other access point for that 150 gallon fuel tank. And then, as I mentioned earlier, whenever you have a wheel that's facing out like this, that means that it can pivot. You'll notice that that drive axle is so close to this front wheel, but because you've got that extra tag, you've got all of that extra buoyancy. And I always have people go, well, gosh, this looks like it's awfully low. Well, it's only awfully low if it's away from that tire. This tire is giving it clearance and protection, just like the rear of this coach is getting more clearance and protection by having that rear axle. So again, hugely dexterous, very easy to maneuver coach with a tiny turning radius and a great amount of storage inside of it as well. Now here in the front, of course, is where we have our squeegee. And then also all of our extra fuses are over here. On the left, there's another bank of extra fuses on the inside as well. Oh, and let's see if I can do it, Jody. Let's see if I can get this, see if I left it on. No, I didn't leave it on. So you can normally pull this in and out as well. And again, that's that 10 kilowatt quiet diesel generator. And those are those big air horns that we heard earlier that would scare the bejesus out of all the people you're camping with. Another thing to mention on this coach, it has a tilt feature, so you can tilt the sewage when you're emptying the bays. That's part of that air leveling package. And then another way that you can tell you're in a luxury line coach is there's no windshield wipers up here. They're all tucked in underneath that beautiful, vast windshield. So up above is part of that 360-degree camera. Down below here is our Mobileye. This radar system here is giving us adaptive cruise control. And again, folks, this is a 3825 Mountain Aire. My name is Katie O'Neill. I'm coming to you live from Transwest Truck Trailer RV. If you want to reference this vehicle at a later point in time, you can always pull this video up by the stock number. It's 5N241675. I do have 2 3825 Mountain Aires available here in inventory. I've got another special order coach that should be in any day now. So please keep me in mind if you're shopping for an RV. You can always let me know how I can get you out on the road and camping.